Hello everyone, I'm Sahil Yadav. I'm from India and I'm a 2D effects animator. I do visual effects at office, at my home. So this video is about one of the clip that I animated yesterday, Sunday, I guess. Um, so yeah, this video is gonna be about the breakdown of the clip that I animated. I don't generally do character animation. I mean, fish is a character over here, but yeah. So I animated a fish, and I wanted to show you the breakdown of it. I have done like quite I think two three breakdowns in the past, but I generally put post or like a caption or something like that in the video, but that sounds dull and I guess it's just too much to read. So today I'm gonna try to record myself, and hopefully my voice won't be irritating enough for you. So yeah, so let's get started. Before we start, let's show you the video clip that I animated the other day. So this is the clip, and as usual, I wanted to have a bit of a effect element to my animation. So today I animated a bubble in a fish. I generally go with like a weird idea in my animation. So this time it's a fish trapped in a bubble and is just trying to get out of it, but is unable to. So this was the idea behind it, and yeah, it looks pretty cool to me. So let's get started. So before I do any kind of animation, be it water, be it fire, or be it bubble, I generally try to gather as much reference as I can and understand what's beneath there. If there's a particular style that I'm about to follow, I will go and hunt down that particular reference and see. And if needed, I try to go frame by frame and observe like how the other artist is making the choice, what kind of shapes they are using, and why they are using it, because that's like really important. So yeah, I mean, gather references before you start doing anything at all, because I have noticed that whenever I go without references, I generally tend to go down the different path. I go down the different track. So yeah, unless you're like really confident, which I get sometimes, I do I do that, but yeah. So in this one, this is the fish. I'm not sure how many of you have seen it before. This is the bubble eye fish. Let me just Google it for you, because someone today asked like what was the animation I did. That fish was looking pretty odd, and I was like, dude, this is like actual fish which exists. So yeah, let me just find it for you. So this is the fish that I animated. I like the bubbles that they have around it, and yes, I don't have to stick to a particular shape, and that is what I love the most about FX. FX is all about the flow and the shapes which you don't have to stick to. So yeah, so that is what I went with. This video, I think, which will yeah. So this is the video that will give you enough idea about like how the bubble looks. So this was the basic foundation of the video clip that I animated. Yeah, so this is about the ideation. So as I said before, I tend to go with something weird, something flowy, which doesn't stick to a shape. So this is what I animated, and yup. So there it goes. Before I start, just to let you know, this is the Blender UI, UX, whatever. So I use Blender for all of my animations. Actually, that's the only software I know currently. This is the layering system that we have here. So these are the number of layers that I used in this making of the clip. Yeah, it's quite a number of layers. I was trying to like have like go as detailed as possible, so I tried to have as many colors as possible. So this is what it is currently. I will break it down for you. Today I won't be teaching you how to animate, but it's just a simple breakdown just for your information. So yeah, let's get started. Before I do any kind of animation, I tend to do a rough video of it, just to like roughly get down what I'm supposed to do. I don't go directly like much more stricter. I try to just capture the flow of my animation. So this was one of the like initial rough stage I animated for the clip, clearly it's just too fast, and I didn't like how it's just going up and coming down. And and actually the rule that I was following was to make something in 2 seconds. So this motion in 2 seconds was just too loud for my eyes, so I toned it down and I had to animate it again. But before I go there, just try to see how I'm trying to maintain a structure here. Like I am trying to have a sphere where the body is attached, and then there is bubbles and stuff. So this is what like I do when I start with any character or any thing which is not really very in shape much. So I try to get to that. I think character animators would tell you much better information on that. So yeah, this is the rough animation that I did initially, but I didn't like it, so I had to change it to what I like and which I can capture in like 2 seconds, and it does make sense, hopefully. Um, so yeah, there, this was my rough one. Then there goes my rough two animation where I animated this. So as you can see, definitely this is less chaotic, I would say, and it's flowing. The bubbles around the face is wobbly, and that's what I liked about it. It's just moving around and just be in the motion. But what I didn't like about this rough animation was the fins that is in the end of the fish structure. So I don't know what's a scientific term for it, but yeah. So they are just going in this flowing motion. They are not really behaving how the body is behaving on top. So that's what I noticed after doing the rough animation. I realized that the body, the upper structure is what is controlling the end fin also. But in some way, end fins also push the structure up. But there was nothing at all which was giving me the vibe of it. So I fixed it, and I decided like okay, this is the rough animation which I like. The flow is there, but now I'm gonna try to like go more like follow the shapes and the structure of it. Right now it's just flowy. It's literally done like in 1 hour or something, just to get like what I'm gonna animate, and whether the idea that I have in mind is actually worth animating, because I tend to drop down the idea if it's not really making me feel good. So yeah, Saturday Sunday is all about fun. So I decided to stick to something that I like. So let's tone down the opacity of it. So what I did was, after I had this rough animation with me, I um yeah, I went with the structure of it. I started with the simple circle there. One second, where is it? Yeah, I started with the simple structure, like how the structure should be. But when so this structure is not really, if I go frame by frame, you will see it's this structure is not really following the rough animation I had, because when I was doing the rough animation, I didn't really follow the arcs. So arc is basically what makes your motion smooth. Like if you have a ball bounce which is going up and down, and in a swinging fashion, there is an ease in and there is an ease out, and then it follows a nice smooth arc around, right? So that was not there in my rough animation, so I had to do a circle. And let me increase down the, one second. Yep. So this is the onion skinning of it, this green layer. And if I increase all the way, oh wait, green is definitely not a good choice here. Let's go to, I don't know which color should be good enough for you. Okay, never mind. Looks like I'm struggling here. Uh, so yeah, do you see how these lines, this is like how smoothly it's going up and down. You get me, right? It's not like there is this circle. Sorry, my bad. So this is a circle, and it's really following that path. Okay, it's this is how it's going. But yeah, this is more of a linear spacing right now. And what it shouldn't be like, it's going up and then suddenly decided to go this way, and then no, he decided to go this way. So this fashion of the arcs are not really recommended because it tend to distract the viewer and it really ruins your animation because you don't know where the hack it's going to is just wobbly going all over the place. So yeah, so try to have smooth arc as soon like as much as possible because that's what really refines your animation. There should be no jitters. I think I should put it that way. Yeah. So if you see, it's all making clean arcs over there. See, it's full roundy. So I try to do that, like drew circle, frame by frame. I mean, it's not exact shapes because, come on, I should confront. I'm not good at character animation. The main reason is that I don't like to follow the structures. So yeah. Um, let's get down to when once the circle was done, I decided to move to body, where I roughly animated the structure of like how the back is behaving, like it's going down, and then we are seeing it in perspective. Then it's like it's moving up from the back. So all that was done, and then there comes my favorite part where I animated the bubbles, which is like what really compelled me to do these animations. It's just like wobbling and then just coming all over the place. The one mistake that I would like to mention in this animation that I noticed was the bubbles are not really attaching to the eye, which is how it should have been. But I think I had too much fun and I forgot to keep up with that. And by the time I realized, it was just too late for me. So I anyways posted it. So idea is to just to animate 2 seconds and finish it in 2 days, not more than that. So even if I see mistake, I take note of it, and then maybe next animation I will keep that in mind that I'm not gonna repeat it. At least I'm gonna try not to repeat it. So there it goes. So bubble are really following the structure over there, and then I did the upper fins and all that was really fun. The only idea that I so let me just turn on all the fins that I did. Yeah, so these are the three layers that I did for the fins. So the idea was just that the upper fins move too much because they are just, trying to they are struggling to go out of the bubble, but yeah, they are the one which is like flowing all the way and just it's trying hard. But the fins, I don't know, dorsal fins, or I'm not sure what do we call it exactly scientifically, but the fins below the one in there, these ones. They they do help, but they don't do much. So I didn't want to complicate the animation. So yeah, I just attached them there and just trying to coordinate with these fins with them, but not much. The main highlights of the fins were these or these ones. Okay, and I said earlier. These fins are controlled by this, so whenever whatever, if the back is going up, then they will go up. If the back is coming down, then they are coming down. But also, just to show the lifelike motion in it, I show like how they are also doing some motion there. So it's just going up and then just struggling, and whenever it goes up, it just tries to struggle to go up, and then it just comes down. So it's a very basic 2 second animation I did. And then comes my mouth. So if you see, the mouth before was like all over the place. It's just doing some random motion, but here I was like, okay, the fish do not keep opening its mouth all the time, so I stopped it down for some time, and then like, I'm gonna gulp for an air or whatever they do with that. So it did. And then there comes the eyes. Eyes was fun. A little cylinder attached to the um, structure, the head structure. I'm not gonna go much into it. And then there comes the gills. I totally forgot to animate that. Let me just hide my initial rough two layer, which I did. So yep. After all those, like it now I have refined it a bit more. It's slightly following the structure. There are some mistakes, but I still need to get used to following the structures. I think I've animated too much flowy shapes. But yeah, so this is like roughly a refined version of what I animated before. So this is rough 3, you can call it, or I don't know, cleanup I won't call it obviously. So yeah, rough 3 would be the best name for it. And yeah, after that, obviously I have just like 2 days in total to do along, like don't get much time on weekdays. So yeah, I didn't have time to go line by line and clean it up, so I decided to just go directly all in and then just clean up as I'm going to, like cleaning and coloring was mixed in one go, and then I just directly went all in. That's what I usually do to save time, and I'm actually lazy to do the cleanup, and cleanup is hard, trust me. um so yeah, so this was the animation. Let me just tone it down the opacity a bit. I think zero point 0.4 should be good. Yeah, correct. So the breakdown, this was about the rough animation so far. I hope everybody is understanding. I hope I didn't speak fast, because I've gotten nod before that I speak fast sometimes. I'm sorry, but if I did and if you didn't understand anything, please mention in the comments. I would really like to help you out. Yeah, comment section is wide open for you. And if you got any suggestions also, please let me know. I will keep those in mind. Okay. So now let's start with the what? The coloring part, the fun part. Before I started with the fun part of the uh, what do you call it? Coloring of the fish. I wanted to have a bubble which in which this fish is trapped way before I like fix the colors and everything. So let's talk about bubble first. So this was the not this bubble, sorry. Which layer is it? Bubble. Yeah, this was the, yes, correct. So yep, zero point 0.2 I will. So this was the rough structure that I did for the bubble. It's nothing. It's very smooth animation. It's like very simple animation, not smooth, I would say. It's like just a wobbly bubble. All I'm trying to ignore, like try not to do is that uh, whenever I am animating. Sorry. So yeah, whenever I'm doing the circle that I talked initially, I made sure that the jump is not too much, or the jump is not like it's going in that direction, then it comes down and then again goes there. So it's a bit exaggerated, but you get the idea, right? So yep, this was about that. So I just kept that rough idea fairly in mind, and I went along with it directly with the colors, I guess. Yep. So yep, this was the rough animation of it. And then I went on with the then the shadow comes in. So it's a bubble. Bubble generally has like a highlight, and then there's another highlight which passes through the bubble. am I think, and then there's a shadow which goes all the way in the bubble. And I wanted to make it look energetic, because the fish flowing inside is just like calm and just trying to struggle. But the bubble, I wanted to be like, okay, it should be highlight. It should just moving around, and covers the area. So all that I did. Let's tone down the bubble base back to where it should be. I hope you are able to see what I'm doing here. I toned down the base layer opacity, because I didn't want the bubble to really capture like distract you know I'm forgetting the word here, like focus on the fish, right? So I toned down the base layer for the fish, and I actually just wanted to like, give an idea that the bubble is there. Which is fish is trying to escape, but it's unable to. Just an idea of it. So I toned down that, and to give more feel like bubble like feel. Then I added one more layer. I hope you can see it. This, if you can see. Oh god, I'm so bad at it. I'm bad at teaching. um so yep, one second, where is it? Where did you go? You were just here. Oh god. Bubble shadow, bubble base, bubble shadow 2, correct. So this is the one that I was talking about. So if you see these, damn dude. So yeah, if you these shadows over there, this is what I mean, so this bubble has like base structure. This is the base, then there is this another shadow, and then there is this another shadow. It's just to add detail to it. And then there is a specular over there, and then there is another specular over there. So these are the two speculars I did. These are the shadow, this is the base, these are the speculars. Okay, so this was the basic idea of the bubble that I was following. I imagined that the light is coming from this side, so I went with that idea. Okay, now moving on to next layer, that is bubble highlights. And oh yeah, I forgot about that. So it's not just the specular in terms of light, there's another light like this. It just gives more feel like that it's a bubble, to be honest. So there's a difference between the two, where we do water or bubble. Bubble is generally like a round in shape, nice, clean, and as you see the sharp cuts over here, it's majorly like that, sharp cuts moving around, and it just slides down through the bubble. But when I do the water, I did a water animation, by the way. I think the last weekend, where I animated a skull moving in a loop. So yeah, in that one, so what happens in the water is that water is full of volume, right? It's not empty from inside, just like bubble. Bubble is all empty. So I try to have sharp shapes which is moving fast through the spherical shape of it. So it just move like shoom. Okay. So, but in the water, what happens is it's a wobbly, fully filled with water. So in this shape, you see a lot of other miniature shapes which are generally in round in shape. Okay, these are not sharp like these ends that you see over there. And then again the same highlight, the principle is same actually. It's just like one layer, then another shadow layer, then where the light is hitting, then there is another light, and then another light. So there are two lights I followed in the animation, and then this was the shadow I followed, and then there was this specular. I think two speculars again. So I think everything was multiplied by two. That was the general idea I followed. But in that, the shapes are more roundy, and they are not moving as fast as the bubble is moving around. So that was the basic idea and the difference between the two, water and bubble. So yeah, let's turn on before it's been, this video is getting long. I'm so sorry about that. But let's get down to the bubble quickly and see. This is what it looked like after I did all the part. Bubble is moving, the specular is there, sharp shapes are moving through, and then the light tone of shadow which covers the bubble, just to give like how the car windshield feels like when light, when it passes through the light, it just whoops, it's it slides down fast, which looks pretty cool. uh, After that, once the bubble is done, I hope again, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Um, yeah. So once that is done, I decided to have a basic like chart for the color selections for the, because I didn't do any pre-planning at all. I was just going and moving with the flow. So this was what I followed for Lemme. Let me do another layer for the explanation. So yeah, this was the basic chart that I followed. You can safely call it color palette, I guess. So yeah, this has actually too many layers because the idea was to make it very realistic. But again, I have some limitations. I couldn't go much more detail than this. Currently, I mean, you never know. So yeah, so there is this bubble which has like highlights. Let's mention highlights as H. Then there is the base layer for everything, so this is B. And then there is shadow. As similar to water, I kept like two shadows, so I can call it shadow 1 and shadow 2. And the highlights also I kept like, I think, two, right? One, yeah, yeah, I think you can safely call it two. 1 and 2. And then there are some fish spot, those orange spots that you see that we can call S. And then there are the details, and there's an occlusion also. I think that is what you call it, but I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know if I'm wrong about it. So yeah, so that is basically the rough idea. And then yeah, obviously there are eyes, but it's not much. It's just like what you choose. I will explain it as I go. So yeah, correct. So in this bubble, if you see, there is this highlight layer that is H. Then there is this base layer. This part is the base layer, which is like the general shape of what I was going with. And then there is this another highlight layer, because I mean I was trying to observe the fish that I'm animating, that I animated here. So what happens is ki whenever this area of like bubble is um, overlapping with the fish area, it was tending to be more yellowish, like saturated yellow. So this area that you see is that. So whenever I mean it's not exactly the same because the fish area is following like that, but idea was just that whenever it's close to that and this, it's overlapping, I'm gonna keep it. I think that was the idea, right? I think so. Let me just check. uh, oh sorry, never mind. But yeah, you get the idea. And then this orange part that you see over there. Oh god, I changed the keyframe while scrolling through. Yeah, so this orange part that you see is when, because this bubble is coming through. So this is the fish, this is the fish eyes. I'm so sorry. This is the fish, this is the fish eyes, and then there's a bubble attached to it. So these bubbles like attached to the structure, so they are coming somewhere, right? So this is another shape. So they are coming from this shape, from both the sides. Then there is this shape and all that, fins vagera vagera. All right. So this specific spot that you see is what this orange is. So this is where they are coming out of the fish. Okay. And then there are the spots, orange spot, because this is fish, colorful fish. Then I used in the body, I used so see, this layer that you see is the highlight. You can call it highlight 2, I guess. This can call it highlight 1. And then there is a base layer. This is the base layer for the body, and this is the base layer for the bubble. Okay. And then there is this another shadow 1, which is more darker than your base layer. And then there is another shadow, that is shadow 2, that I used. um yeah, that was. And then there are this occlusion that I used. So like whenever it's the tighter space, it just tries to, they are just more darker. So the idea was that light is, let me just go to the another layer. It's getting too much chaotic. Okay, let me just tone down the onion skinning because they are not disappearing for some reason. Correct. So yeah, so the idea was that this is the fish and the light is following from the top. So that's why this, actually these bubbles are just capturing light from whatever source they can get, because I wanted to make it look shiny also, bubbly, because come on, I'm not trying to capture completely realistic. I wanted to make it look artistic and just going crazy with the ideas. So yeah, and so yeah, the light is from there. So I assume then all these areas are gonna be in the light, and that is why this area is light, and the area which is not capturing the light is this much area, this area. Okay, and the rest is in the light. If you see these areas, they are in light. Also about the fins generally, they have a thin lining, so they capture light from whatever source they can, because they are transparent, and they generally get lights, to be honest. Yeah, just try to observe it. I mean, that's what I observed. So yeah, so this is the basic breakdown of the colors that I chose, and you can keep it as simple as you want to, or you can make it as complex as you want to. It's totally up to your choice. So yeah, Now I'm gonna wrap it up this video like real quick since the explanation is done. It's time to do some magic. Let's hide this layer. Now if you see, I'm gonna I'm gonna turn on the layers one by one and you will see what I'm talking about. So yeah, let's go with end fins. So this is the end fins. You see that white layer popping down. So I filled it with the base layer, and on top of it I added the highlight, assuming that the lining is what you know, capturing the light from the source, and also to show these folds that you see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? See these folds. Let me just zoom in. These folds that you see, I hope you can see my cursor right now. So yeah, just to suggest that it's bending. If I don't, then see it's all flat, and that doesn't look good. Okay, so yeah, then there is the fish body I did. This was the fish body, and on top of it I'm building everything. So if I play it, this is what it looks like. I think I should zoom in a bit so that everybody is able to see what I'm talking about. um Correct. So yeah, on top of the fish body, as I discussed before, there is this one shadow which is capturing the light, and the light is hitting the surface. So these are the shapes. Very random. So also the trick was that since it's a bubble, like it's vaguely assumed that, you know, I'm gonna go with the idea that everything is moving. It might have made it little chaotic for some people, but to be honest, I'm okay with it. Maybe some other day I will stick to the shapes of the character I'm doing someday. And then body shadow is done. Then I added the body shadow 2, that is another layer, just to add more, show it more 3D. Okay, now I have added another layer which is highlights. Ha. I hope you are able to see. One second. Yeah, this is the layer. So if you see here, this is the highlight layer I'm talking about. Why am I not allowed? Shish, shish. Yeah. For some reason I'm unable. Oh, I have applied a mask on. Shit, I've totally forgot. Never mind. I hope you guys are able to see my cursor. So yeah, these white layers that you see are the highlights. Again, they are not following a particular shape. It's just that they're following the structure that I've animated before. So yep. And then there goes my another highlight on top of it. Then there goes my fish spots. Ha, that looks pretty cool, like all white shaped fish, and then there are spots on it. Occlusion and all I will turn on in the end. So let's slide to eye. Yep. Let's see, take a look at how eye looks like when we actually color it. So for the eye, I did like basic layer. If you see for the sides over there, then I animated a base like top cylindrical. So it's like a cylinder, and from the sides is this. It's like a very small cylinder with the sides and then the top surface. So this is the eye yellow. Then on top of it, I added another lining to it. Then on top of it, I added a dark orange just to make it more realistic, you know, eyelining, and then the orange color. So it's a like mixture of yellow and orange and dark orange and the sides too much. So yeah, okay. That being said, mm, 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 and the major part which makes it look like an eye, the black color in mid. So yeah, that was about the eyes. Then I added the fins, low fins base. I think you are not able to see that properly. But wait, something is wrong with this. What's wrong with this? Interesting. Oh wait. Correct. So this is the lower. I'm just gonna turn on the opacity for now. So see, also see one more thing that's quite interesting to note here is these fins are not really following the rough animation that I did. So what happens is when I'm cleaning up, I notice a lot of things like how the fish structure should be following the fins, but even in the structure that I did refine, I didn't go that tight on it. Okay, so I'm constantly looking for mistakes whenever even I'm coloring it up. I am keeping an eye out for that. If I feel anything is wrong, I immediately go there and fix it before it's too late, obviously. So yeah, I fixed that. Now turn down the opacity again, back to what it was, and I added a highlight layer to it. This this is the highlight layer I'm talking about. Okay, I did the same for all of them, so I'm just gonna quickly turn on all of them. Highlight upper fins and then highlight lower fins. Lower fins I already did, so amazing. And then we go to bubble, favorite part. Ha! So this is the bubble that I did. So it's like a base layer. Even if you see here, I'm pretty sure I did fix some things here and there, or maybe it was just too tight. I think bubble is like a very manipulative shape, so I think I didn't fix anything here. So and then I added the shadow as we discussed before, and then there's an highlight which I talked about. Like whenever there is an overlap, it tends to have a more saturated color. And then there is bubble inner, from where the bubble generates in the fish. Let me just play it before it's get um you see that once I turn off the layer which is the line layer, you will see what I'm talking about. um and then I added a highlight to it. I kept it blue. I could have kept it white, but I didn't wanna steal attention from the uh bubble, like the main bubble that is trapping the fish inside it. Okay, now quickly, we are almost there. Please, 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 and I won't take any longer. So once that is done, all of it is done. Lips, lips base. Very small, minute change you will notice, but yeah, it's there. And then there are another one, two, which is the layer that I turned on just now is this layer. This layer that you see. This, this, this. See, open your eyes. Open. If you're sleepy, if you're sleeping right now, please open your eyes. So, this layer is the occlusion that I did. This is for the mouth and the gills, and this is for the fins. I hope. Let me go to the another layer, which is more prominent. Maybe I'm not sure. Okay, it's not prominent anywhere, but yeah, this is the layer I'm talking about. So it's more dark. It shows basically I wanted to make it look like 3D, so obviously this had to be there. Otherwise, it would have looked more flat, even though it's looking slightly flat even to my eyes right now. But I will develop my skills. So that being said, so yeah, that is all done. So are you excited to see the magic here? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn on the my slowly, steadily. I'm gonna turn off the layers. Let's see how neat it looks. I love it. I love when so all whatever I did was like step by step process. Too many colors involved, too many thinking process, too many corrections as I'm going. But it was really rewarding. I mean, I literally didn't have anything on Saturday. I skipped lunch, skipped dinner, skipped bathing, skipped cleaning the room, skipped doing the dishes, skipped everything, skipped cooking all together, just because I wanted to finish the animation. And well, it was rewarding. I totally loved it. Ha, I talk too much, I guess. But yeah, that being said, so this was the animation I did, and as of now, I like it, but I'm sure I'm gonna hate it few weeks later. But yeah, so this is what it is after following the structure properly, after following the basic principles of how bubble works, how fish works. So that's I mean, I hope you understood how referencing helps while doing anything. If you get really confident in certain subjects, you can you I think you will probably stop looking for references there. But if you're not, if you're new to anything, please go refer. There are a lot of amazing animators, artists out there. There's Lightsol, there's Kontan Kodanium, there's, I hope I'm pronouncing his name because in English we pronounce it Quentin, I guess. There is Hussein Untoro. There are lots. I mean, I'm not highlighting any names, but there are lots and lots of 2D effects or even character animators are out there. So yeah, there are a lot of FX gods. Boyko, I guess. Yeah, Ivan Boyko is there. So yeah, there are lots. I mean, I'm not gonna mention all of them. So that being said, so this is the result. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown, and I hope I would continue to show my face and record my audio. Please mention in the comments if you liked it. I would really, really appreciate your feedback. And if there's anything that you want me to make a video on, please let me know. Till then, I would say tada, see you, bye bye, catch you very soon.